Previously on the Painscreek Killings.
Other instead. Study room code 44871. 44871. Did that. Alright. Six. 3 from the right. Sick. Oh. Magdalene Roberts, mother of Charles, dies at 68. Tea time 320. Oh, I can't just.
Welcome back to the Painscreek Killings. So, last night we left off. I believe. I did run back to the mansion off camera and grab the cabin key because I did forget that it was in Trisha's room next to her diary. I had somehow lapsed on grabbing that. So I got to plug a thing in, you know. I need to allocate some room here. A lot of things going on. Okay, so the cabin key looks like Yaha. So, if I recall correctly from last night, where we left off, we did the cemetery padlock, we found out who Stephen Moss was. We know that Oliver Gibson has the toolbox and shovel in his photo lab. We explored Dorothy's house, or whatever we could access. We got in the security room in the mansion. We have the marriage date of Vivian and Charles. We have the date of the miscarriage. We have her hospitalization. We know that she was very reliant on Dr. Henry Johnson. We still have the puzzle piece to figure out with the chess pieces. But let's get cracking. I got myself a smoothie today. Okay, so this side of the river. I shouldn't go into the water. My equipment will get wet. You're right. Okay, so this must be... Ooh, that's the well, I bet. That was in... Maybe that was a letter threatening Vivian? I remember something saying, meet me at the well, you know which one. I assumed it was on the mansion property. To-do list. Get more firewood, give Trisha my spare cabin key, fix Mrs. Patterson's sink, visit Andrew at the hospital, and check hospital for missing tools. Okay. So we know that the hospital, we need to get into the basement somehow, but the power's out. Okay. bet you that's to the church. Chest box. Oh, that's Scott's things. Okay. Scott, read. Sunday, February 14th, 1993. Today is Valentine's Day. I wanted to spend the day with Trisha, but Charles invited me to go hunting. I was nervous, not because it's my first time hunting, but because it's with Trisha's dad. It turned out that I actually enjoyed being with him. I feel comfortable talking to him. Friday, June 18th, 1993. I don't get it yet. Why would Father Matthew forbid me to be with Trisha? Is it because I am not rich, or because I'm an orphan? He didn't explain anything to me. Maybe he doesn't love me anymore. I feel so confused. Tuesday, June 22nd, 1993. We quarreled again today. I couldn't stand Father Matthew's preaching attitude, so I yelled back at him. I know I shouldn't have done that, but I am so frustrated. Father Matthew said that I'm not an orphan. What does that mean? Does he know who my parents are? I pressed him to keep talking, but he wouldn't tell me anything after that. I need to know more. We know that he's not an orphan because his father is Scott. Or not Scott, but Austin Reed. Austin something. Saturday, July 31st, 93. In these past weeks, it has become more difficult for me to talk to Father Matthew. Whenever we speak, he addresses only church stuff. I've realized that I'm starting to avoid Father Matthew. Whenever he asks me how my day was, I don't feel like answering him. When I ask him about my past, he's always trying to change the subject. I feel so frustrated. Thursday, September 2nd. I've moved out of the church. Father Matthew did not object, although he looked a bit sad. Mr. Roberts was kind enough to let me stay at his cabin if I am willing to work for him as an assistant gardener. That way, the mansion garden can still be well maintained even when Andrew cannot make it. Andrew, that's his dad. Wednesday, November 3rd. It's been a month since Charles gave me this cabin to stay. I still don't know where to start my investigation. Andrew has been drinking. Bernard asked me to bring him home today. Whenever he's drunk, he accuses himself, saying that he's a sinner. Sometimes he would mutter names that I've never heard of. Of all the names, I think I only recognized Magdalene. I just can't remember where I heard that name before. That is Charles' mother, who has passed. I don't know if she had passed at this point. I just returned home from the orphanage and found out that it was Father Calvin who brought me there. The record sheet stated that I was from Painscreek. How? If I was born in Painscreek, there must be records of me in the hospital, but I've checked. There's none. Thursday, November 16th. I broke into Father Matthew's bedroom today. I shouldn't have done that, but he might have had something that could tell me about my birth parents. He didn't have anything relevant. Saturday, November 20th. Andrew's drunk again. This is the 5th time I had to bring him home and then cover his shift. It's getting quite annoying. As I laid him down on his bed, he muttered repeatedly, "I'm so sorry, Sophia." Who is Sophia? Okay, so we know who Sophia is. She is the person with whom Mr. Charles Roberts had an affair. Master carpentry. Okay. Cool. There has to be something more here. Okay, so that's a gun cabinet that's locked. That's maybe a bathroom and it's locked. Nope, this is a bathroom. It is very much open. Okay, some pills. Let me get the one in between, please. Oh, I can. Curious. There we go. Okay, nothing in there. Okay, nothing in the fridge. It's a deer, man. Oh. I can't use that thing. That looks weird, but maybe that's just the way it is. What keys do I have? That's the church one. That's the chest thing. Okay, so we have a locked door here. No, I bet you that's that Derek guy's house. Or Bernard, or whichever one it was. There's a name on the locker. Okay. So we'll go to the church. I'm only not taking notes right now because everything is pretty frontal lobe. That was absurdly loud. What's your take on smoothies? I low-key kind of feel like it's just ice cream, but damn, they're good. I have to remember how to get up there. There we go. All right, Mr. Father Matthew. Matthew Brooks. February 25th, 1971. I had always wanted to be adopted, but I guess heaven had something else in store for me. Instead of being taken in by a family, I came to Painscreek Trinity Church. To be honest, I would prefer to have a real family with people whom I can call mom and dad. But Father Calvin said God has other plans for my future, and in time I will come to realize it. May 2nd. The Roberts family is looking for a new maid. I told Miss Roberts that a relative of mine would fit the position really well. I know I shouldn't lie, but I want Sophia to be here in Painscreek. Father Calvin always said we have to help those who are in need. Sophia is in need, and I'm sure she will be glad to have this job. August 10th. Since starting the job at the mansion, Sophia has settled in nicely. Whenever she has time off from work, we've been exploring Painscreek together. I have so much to show her. This is just like in the orphanage days, and I'm extremely comfortable being with her. October 27th. Today was Sophia's day off. We ate at the Moon Cafe again. I can't seem to get enough of this place. The food is delicious, the atmosphere relaxing, and the coffee tastes great. Maybe it's all because of Sophia's company. Still, I love to hang out here. This is definitely one of my favorite places in Painscreek, followed closely by the church and the Little Big Books. So, Father Matthew and Sophia were orphans together. Dear Mr. Brooks, we have evaluated your case and we accept the request to represent your son, Scott Brooks, in court. We are in the process of drafting an appeal for his release. Considering the sensitivity of the situation, we urge you not to make any public statements until consulting with us. Additionally, we would like copies of any government documents related in any way to your son. Medical records, transaction receipts, travel documents, previous criminal charges, if any, etc. The more we have, the better we can help you in your son's case. We will be in contact within the next few days. Sincerely, Brendan O'Malley. Checking account statement. Interesting. Okay. January 16th. A few months have passed since I've arrived here. This missionary trip is harder than I expected. There is no clean water, the food lacks nutrients, and there isn't enough medicine. We've requested help from WHO, but haven't received any reply yet. I feel so frustrated. What can I do? March 3rd. When Father Calvin first sent me here, he asked if I would be willing to stay for 6 months. It would be a good training for me, he said. I agreed. That was before I came. 6 months now have passed. I think I will extend this for another 6 months. The people here need as much help as they can get. I am not a doctor, but I can help them through my support and prayer. I will let Father Calvin know about my decision. September 16th. Time flies. I can't believe I'll be going home tomorrow. I will miss the people here. At the same time, I can't wait to get back home and meet everyone again. September 19th, 3 days later. Father Calvin summoned me this morning and told me that Sophia had left Painscreek. How can that be? The last time we wrote, she told me she had so many things to share with me when I got back. Was she forced? Is she hiding something? I just cannot believe that Sophia left without telling me anything. Something must have happened to her that she could not tell me. December 29th. It's been almost 6 months since Sophia left Painscreek. I have asked everyone around. No one seemed to know where she went. Father Calvin told me to let it go. He's right. I should not dwell on matters of the heart. There are more important things in life that I need to focus on. If Sophia and I are meant to meet again, God will let me know. It's time I move on with my life. Okay. I always want to see if there's anything under the beds. Still don't know where that cross goes. The fuck is that? Maybe? Damn. Wouldn't be that one. Wouldn't be that one. Okay. Well, we made progress. That's a step. Not you. You. Never did figure out that one. Scott's things. We have the key for that. There's nothing else in the confessional, right? I don't see anything that looks like it would be locked. I think we're good. Okay, continuing on. Let's go with Tingas. Oop. Let me add it. Key to a basement. Put that in my butt. My baby boy, 1975. Seven, 6, 7, 5. Seven, 6, 7, 5. Oh boy, wait, let me write that down. St. Patrick Orphanage, February 2nd, 1994. Dear Scott, I'm Sister Rachel. Although I wasn't here when you last came, I hope you remember me. I was your nursing mother after you arrived here those years ago. I understand that you came here earlier to find out how you came to be at St. Patrick's Orphanage. On July 4th, 1975, Father Calvin came to us holding a basket with you in it. He said that you'd lost your parents and there's no one to take care of you. He told us that your name was Scott. After he left, Sister Emma asked if I would be willing to take care of the baby. At first, I hesitated because it was a huge responsibility. But when I saw your face so full of innocence and curiosity, I felt as if God himself had delivered you to me. I accepted the task. When you were 10, Father Matthew came to see you. He had just become the head priest of Painscreek Trinity Church. He visited often, usually at the beginning of the month. Whenever he left, he would leave an envelope containing a small sum of money. He said it was for everything you needed, and that whatever was left was then given to the orphanage. I would be lying to say that I wasn't sad when you left the orphanage. But when Father Matthew adopted you, I believed that your life would be better in Painscreek than here, and I dearly hope it's so. Everything enclosed with the package used to be yours. I think you should have these. May God bless you, Sister Rachel Davis. Okay. Should be walking in. Yeah, that's what that is. I can't pick that up. I can't pick that up. Okay, so I can just pick up the blanket. This. November 30th, 93. I asked Andrew about Sophia. First, he freaked out, saying that I shouldn't go around speaking that name. Then he said he had never heard that name in his life. Is he hiding something? Why would he lie about Sophia? This makes me want to know who Sophia is even more. I asked Wanda if she knew anything about Sophia. She said Sophia used to work as a maid in the mansion for a few years until she was let go. When asked why, Wanda said she didn't know. However, she thought that Sophia was a manipulative woman that would do anything to get what she wanted. Wanda resented that. I met Derek today and asked if he knew anyone by the name of Sophia. Apparently he's not on speaking terms with me. I wonder if it has anything to do with Trisha. During today's lunch break, I asked Bernard if he knew anything about Sophia. He was surprised that I knew the name, but proceeded to say he didn't know her that well. Somehow I feel uncomfortable whenever I talk with Bernard. His cold gaze gives me the shivers. I met Dorothy while tending to the garden. I asked her about Sophia. She looked confused. She was curious as to where I heard the name. I told her it came from Andrew. She kindly explained that Sophia was a close friend of hers when Sophia first came to work for the Roberts family. Unfortunately, she had an affair with Charles when Vivian was hospitalized. Shortly after, she left Painscreek. No one has heard of her ever since. Dorothy thinks that Sophia has probably started a new life in another place. I wonder if the affair was the reason everyone's so quiet about it. You know what, boyo, you're onto something there. So I got my Slim Jiminy. So... it's a basement key. So we try the cabin basement. What you got there, Spencer? A smoothie? So there's an absurd amount of commingling going on. Because it seems that Andrew was in love with Sophia. Charles fell for Sophia. Oh, there's a lot. Oh, I could see there's a basement if I would have looked over here first. Beautiful. On Valentine's Day, Trisha gave me some chocolate. I've never seen that brand before. I bet it must be expensive. I haven't finished making the music box. I had hoped that it would be her Valentine's Day present. I'll just give it to her later. Hopefully she can forgive me. It's been quite some time since I last talked to Father Matthew. He's always asking how I'm doing after Sunday service, but I tend to ignore him whenever possible. I know it's wrong. I need to find a way to make amends with him. The grass has been growing wild lately. The weeds are everywhere and Andrew's not here. Actually, he hasn't been here for quite a while now. I wonder what happened to him. I should visit him after work tomorrow. I was about to pick Andrew up for work when I found him lying unconscious on the floor. There was an empty bottle of sleeping pills on the table. I immediately called the ambulance. According to the nurse, this is Andrew's third suicide attempt. She's glad that I saved him in time. An hour later, and he could have died. I don't know why Andrew would commit suicide. What I know is that he must be lonely. He needs a friend. I visited Andrew at the hospital today. He's out of the ER and is recovering quite well. While I was cutting the fruits, he told me his story. In 1972, there was a maid who came to work at the mansion. Her name was Sophia. She was a hardworking young lady with a great personality. She was loved by many. A few years into the job, however, she had an affair with Charles. A child was born. When Vivian found out, she was furious and decided to kick her out of Painscreek. What happened after that was a tragedy. On June 26 of 1975 at 11 p.m., Vivian, Dr. Johnson, and Andrew confronted Sophia. A fight broke out. Sophia fell and hit her head on a nearby well. She stopped moving. Dr. Johnson checked and realized she was dead. Her neck had broken. No one knew what to do. Vivian then asked Andrew to take care of the body and her baby. Sorry for the brief intermission. Her neck had broken. No one knew what to do. Vivian then asked Andrew to take care of the body and her baby. Andrew did what he had to do to protect Vivian. After that night, they vowed never to tell anyone about the incident. Before leaving, I asked Andrew what the baby's name was. He said it was Vincent. As I left the hospital, I couldn't help but pity Andrew. He's lived a confusing life, and the struggle shows. I hope he can heal. Is Scott Vincent? What's that for? I low-key feel like we're gonna find out that Scott is Vincent. The fuck's that there for? That's weird. How in the hell would I know how many times to pull that? This has to be like a false door. That's what I'm getting at, because we know that Trisha talked about there being a tunnel in the cabin. I don't know how I would be able to... feel like I even have anything that would give me reference on that. What is that? Ah! Ah! What's that? Bang! Scott's Secrets. Beautiful. By the gods. Robert Estate security tapes. Oh god. Is that the one from... June 28th, 1975? I bet you it is. Found out who killed my mother. Oh boy. What do we got here? Music box key, okay. I realized who I am from the moment I saw the photo. I have the exact same blank. I know who my father is. Everything makes sense now. I visited Andrew today. I needed to know where they hid Mom's body, but he cried and begged me not to say anything about it anymore. There was no room for whatever questions I had left. I then told him I'm the boy he gave to Father Calvin to get rid of. He was utterly shocked. After that, I left. I could not bear to look at him for another second. I know who I am now, and I feel everything is falling apart. Andrew came to the cabin and told me where the body was hidden. He said he was sorry and left. Externally, I was quiet. Internally, I was sputtering and livid. After he left, I came to my room and cried. The well had dried up and was covered in moss. I wouldn't have known that the well even existed if I didn't work at the mansion. I finally found Mom's body. I buried her in the cemetery next to Father Calvin. There was no tombstone for her, just a wooden cross. I don't think Father Calvin would mind. After all, he was the one who saved me. A month has passed. I haven't worked since, and I have stopped meeting anyone. Tricia knocks on my door every day, but I would hide each time. She cries every time, begging me to come out, anxious to know why I won't see her, if she has done anything wrong. I don't know what to say to her, but I know we cannot be together anymore. Father Matthew visited me today. He said he hasn't seen me at church for a while, and that no one has heard from me in weeks. When he asked how I was doing, I began crying. The tears just flowed down my cheeks. I cried and I cried. I just couldn't stop them. I told him everything. I told him that I know that Charles is my father. I confessed that I know now that Tricia is my half-sister. I said I didn't know what to do now. He listened and didn't speak. So that finishes out Scott/Vincent's story. What's that? Painscreek Sewer? Okay. 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 That's intense. Okay. Well, What's the relevance of Birdhouse? Andrew's house, time capsule, Derek and Wanda's house, Bernard's house. Hey, what's that? An old gate key. Old radio. Cool. To be honest, that's way more of an intense find than I thought that was going to be. It doesn't directly say who killed her, though, does it? Where's that journal at? I'm gonna pick it up. Wrong button. Okay, so Vivian, Johnson, and Andrew confront Sophia. I chose Johnson because he had a thing for Vivian. Yeah, I'm leaving here with several more keys. That's for the sewer. That's for the music box. An old mansion gate key seemed unused for a long time. I'd wager that one's for the gate to the cemetery, or the back thing at the mansion. Now, on the map, it did have Birdhouse marked. That was from my pictures. Yeah, Birdhouse is marked right there, and I don't know what that means. Okay. There's no bird in it, though. Why? Okay, I guess. I'm sure something will come to light with that. I don't quite recall where the old sewer entrance was. This is a farmer's market. And it should have been right around here. So this is the bend right here. That's near postal services right here. Which again, I don't see anything sewer oriented right here. But then it's acting like you'd go up here. Right? Then it would be in here. I just don't see a sewer entrance. That's the farmer's market. Back here. Because that goes to the mansion. And then from that, the old sewer entrance should be right down here. Right here. How's that locked for? I see. Down in the sewer we go. Okay. So this takes us towards the mansion. It looks like I can unlock it from this side, brother. Okay. I don't know where I'm going. This should take me to the hospital, I think. Quite the sewer system we have on our hands here. I'm not lost, you're lost. Is a smoothie still a smoothie if I get Red Bull in it? That's how I get my smoothies lately. A big old Red Bull in it. wasn't awful sounding. Okay. Take a hammer. Albeit, not certain what I need a hammer for yet. BH. Briefcase key. That's the detective, Moss. Okay. So he was clearly killed. Dang it. I hit the wrong button. I called Dorothy last week. She told me something interesting about Sophia. There was a puzzle that she received from Matthew when she first started working at the mansion. Sort of a birthday gift for her. In that puzzle, Sophia was to visit both hers and Matthew's favorite locations in Painscreek. In each location lies a clue that Matthew had written on the wall of the building exterior. The clues, when put together, will point her to the location of her gift. I thought that was a neat idea. Sophia's favorite places: Anne's courtyard and suites, bridge over the stream by the gate entrance, post office. Why would someone like the post office, and where can I find Matthew's favorite places? I received an anonymous message this morning. It claimed that Scott wasn't Vivian's killer. Unfortunately, that's all I got. I've had my doubts whether Scott really killed Vivian. He sure had the motive, but upon reading all his diaries and looking through his investigation notes, I can't help but think that Scott didn't kill Vivian. On the contrary, he was trying to find out who killed Vivian, as well as what really happened to Andrew Reed and Dr. Johnson. I still don't know if this anonymous person is a man or a woman, but they've helped solidify my thoughts on Scott. I received another message yesterday. It told me to look into Bernard, the mansion butler. I can't help but feel that this person is trying to tell me something, but not exactly what. The message said I will find something in the house. Today I received a key in the mail with the initials BH. Does it stand for Bernard's house? I've searched everywhere and read all of Bernard's diaries. Something just doesn't add up. Maybe it's just a hunch, or simply that I'm thinking too much. But would he really have killed Vivian? There's something else about his entries that just makes me pause and wonder if he was indeed a murderer. I photographed all the pages. Were the photographs that the pimp? That just shoved me into next week. Yeah, it was gonna make me go to Bernard's house myself. I get it. I don't want to do it. It's always the creepy old man. Everybody knows that. Oh, does that lead me back to the sewer? Damn. Yeah, I didn't want to go there yet. I want to finish out the junk in here. Right, I cleared all that stuff out. I did that stuff off rip. It's gotta be something I'm missing. There's like a million friggin' things there. I can't get in any of them. Right, because that's the girl that lost her pin. I already used that. Maybe I don't always need the flashlight on. Oh, hey, look at that. Whoa. I'm in the app. I'm in the app. Did I say something? I think I almost have to be. I have a key card, bro. Okay, of course, in here I do need a freaking flashlight. Dear Dr. Henry Johnson, I would like to thank you for your contribution to Painscreek Community Hospital and the pain. Okay, so this is where he gets hit for the embezzlement from Vivian.
Henry, I just received a letter from the NMB investigation firm regarding the use of the RRF funds. I need you to call me. Henry, we really need to talk. Please call back. What's going on, Henry? Why aren't you returning my calls? This is really important.
No, it's probably the lockbox at the end. Well, I have the key to that guy's briefcase, too. I don't know if it's a joke that you sent me that threat letter, but if you knew about the well, then you must have found out the truth, just so you know your wife was the one behind all of it. If you have any grudge, it's with her, not me. I was just a witness in Sophia's death, nothing more. Henry Johnson. You know what you did. Meet me by the well at midnight. You know which one. Come alone. Okay, so they both got the death threat via letter. Okay. Interesting. Because somebody else got that. That's what I was talking about with the well. Okay. Six, 2, 4, 8, 3. Okay. So what am I walking out of there with? The 203 key tag. The briefcase key. Bernard's house key. Okay. I actually quite think that was everything I needed here. I'm not lost, you're lost. I think I'd rather travel above ground. You know, where I can have a sense of where I'm going. What? Okay. Is 203 locked? Oh, you... Dude, I'm such a dummy. I bet you it's 203 in the hospital, huh? Yeah, probably. Okay. At any rate, we're here. Andrew Reed, 3rd degree burns, pneumothorax. Closer inspection reveals punctured lungs with an object similar to a switchblade or small knife. Oh. Edward Charles safe in the gallery is Vincent's birthday. How could I not have thought about that? Call Sheriff James. Check his file. 7741. I think I'm going to need a picture of this. Can I do that while I'm holding something? Oh my god. That would have made life so much easier if I knew that. Good god. Okay, Sheriff's office. Hi-ho, here we go. Did I get the key for this thing yet? I don't think I did. Is there a key for that in there? I've missed a bunch of keys by just not paying any friggin' attention. No, no key that I see. I just low-key feel like I'm going through all of his story and I'm not finding the key to his glove box, which, again, don't know what would be in it, but... I feel like the briefcase is where all the juice was. So, all three of the people listed. So, Andrew Reed was definitely murdered. And then, obviously, Vivian and Charles were murdered. Or Vivian and Henry, not Charles. But do we think that it was Scott/Vincent? crack in her skull shows that the weapon used is an object with a heavy and sharp end. Something like an axe would fit the description. To cause a crack that big, the attacker must be rather strong. I'm assuming it's either a man or a strong woman who is experienced in the use of the weapon. The victim must have been facing the attacker because of the lacerations found on the front of her torso, as well as the backside of both forearms, showing that she tried to block the attacks by holding up her arms. The fatal strike landed on the right side of the victim's head, just above her right eyebrows. This clarifies the following. The victim was facing the killer. The killer is strong enough to land such a clean but deadly blow, and the killer is left-handed. That's Bernard. Since a